Hi everyone, I'm gonna try to make a couple of quick videos today, and this one goes out to MMA Guy 13, who's at it again, talking about the resurrection of Christ. He commented on my video, fine-tuning angels and empty tomb and arguments from ignorance, that was made specifically to him. And, well, let's see, I did an earlier attempt to make this video. It got very long. I'm going to try to keep it shorter here. He says, and I'm summing it up, he talks about, first of all, that historians accept that there was an empty tomb, and that this is accepted by most historians, and he won't cite them. Well, okay, then I can't verify it, so I have no reason to believe that what you're saying is true. The whole point of citing sources is not, how smart will you look, or something like that, or what authority are you arguing from. The reason is so that I can verify that, yes, there are actually a bunch of historians who say this. You can help me verify the story by telling me where to look. So, source, please. But then we get to the empty tomb, and I don't remember what I said in the last video. Let's assume that there was an empty tomb. Okay. Can there be a naturalistic explanation? If it's even possible that there's a naturalistic explanation, then I immediately reject any supernatural explanation, because we know that naturalistic things are possible, and we know that supernatural things, well, we don't know that they're possible. So I see no reason to accept a supernatural explanation of something that can even possibly have a naturalistic explanation. You need to eliminate naturalistic explanations. And I'm going to offer you naturalistic explanations. And I think I did in my last video. But okay. Was he in the tomb? Could he have been buried somewhere else, so that the disciples could claim that he had come back to life? Hey, check the tomb. See, it's empty. That's possible, and it's more likely than that there was a miracle. Am I saying that's what happened? No, I'm saying that is one possible naturalistic explanation. Here's another one. Are you aware of the fact that people have been buried after being presumably executed? People have been buried after being hanged. You hang the guy, you throw him in the grave, fill it up, go home. And the guy digs himself up because his neck wasn't broken and he didn't choke. He was barely alive. He was so close to dead that he had no pulse that they could detect by simply, putting their hand on him or something. But he was still alive, and he woke up in the grave, dug himself up. This is actually where the stories about zombies and vampires come from. At least that's what is generally accepted. People who were thought to be dead turned out not to be dead. They were buried, and they got back out. And people saw them and went, holy shit, he's back from the dead. Kill him again. Stake him through the heart this time. Well, that'll definitely kill you. That's That's it. That's another possible naturalistic explanation, that Jesus was indeed a real person, he was indeed crucified, but he wasn't dead when they took him down. And then you're gonna say, well, they checked. Yeah, using very poor methods. They didn't have even a stethoscope to check if he still had a heartbeat. He could have been alive. And let's say that he did. Let's say that's what did happen. You had this guy who walked around, he had a bit of a... he had a few followers. He was executed as a common criminal, and he came back, apparently, from the dead. In reality, he wasn't dead. Wouldn't that lead to people starting to, you know, think there was a miracle? Because there were lots of people running around claiming to be the Messiah. What if one of these actually, apparently, came back from the dead? Would that not get people talking? Would that not be perceived as, oh, this was the guy who told the truth about being the Messiah? You have to think about how people would perceive things like that. This could be basically the origin of the Jesus myth. And then you had all the, you know, the rest of the story is just, well, you had this guy that it happened to, so let's make up all the extra stuff afterwards. Say that he performed miracles while he was alive, you know, he was still alive, but I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but let me just put it this way. I am not saying this is what happened. I am saying this is a possible naturalistic explanation. But here's the punchline. I don't have to provide a plausible or possible explanation. You have to demonstrate that your explanation is correct, and you refuse to do so. In fact, you can't do so. You can say that historians claimed, oh, okay. That doesn't mean it actually happened. That means historians can see that this is what was believed by people back then. Historians are not going to be able to find out if he was alive when he was placed in the tomb. Let's say that let's say that most historians actually do agree that he was real, he was put in the tomb. How will a historian check if he was dead or not? The point is, you need to prove that what you are saying is true. You need to present evidence that it actually was a miracle in order to get any skeptic to believe you. Telling the skeptic, well, what's your explanation? Then we're getting back to your favorite fallacy, the argument from ignorance. It doesn't matter if I don't know or if I can't come up with an explanation. That doesn't mean that your explanation is correct. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you understand the problem here. You need to present evidence. So, that's it for this time. Bye.